What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving headfirst into the new Grow Garden Beanstalk Update Part 2. This update introduces an expansion to the Beanstalk event that we were already doing, and in this guide I'm going to break down everything you need to know from what happened during the admin war. We'll cover new pets, more importantly the fastest way to get your hands on the new chest and super rare rewards. So if you're ready to get rich, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's go. First up, let's talk about the big spectacle that kicked off this update, the admin abuse war. This was a scripted one-time event that was a massive crossover battle between developers Gazelle from Grow a Garden and Sammy Spider from Steal a Brainrot, both who have ties to do big studios. If you were in the game on Saturday, August 23rd, you were part of it. You were even told to dress as a green bean to join Gazelle's army. The war wasn't just for show though, it had some serious long-term rewards for those of us who did participate. And at the end of the event, players got their hands on 4 exclusive pets, including the Peach Wasp, the Apple Gazelle, the Lemon Lion, and the Green Bean. If you were part of the winning Green Bean army, you also got a gold beanstalk seed and even a surprise chicken zombie pet. While the rewards are good, I'm many of you's internet dad. Talking shit on the internet, faking drama for game engagement, in my opinion, isn't cool. I'm not really a fan of how they did this marketing. Sure, it gets attention, but there's better marketing tactics than letting kids think a flame war by 2 devs who have ties to the same studio that make Roblox games is a cool way to get involved. Roblox isn't enough right now with all the PDFs and the lawsuits and stuff. I don't really see, it as a wise decision for developers to be creating fake drama and fighting each other and calling each other names for clout. Like, market better. Like, there's kids that play your games. That's just me, so I digress. But now, the admin war was a grand opening, but the core of this update is the Beanstalk Part 2 expansion. This is a repeatable event that's going to be a part of the game for at least another week. The main goal is obviously teaming up with the server, feeding plants to the NPC, getting the Beanstalk to 900 points. It grows, you climb it, you get to the giant, and that's where the new stuff comes in. Players who attended the event were also given random gifts like beanworks, fireworks that are green beans instead of, fireworks, and the gold beanstalk seed. But something cool that happened is if you stayed around after the war was over, Gazelle gave out more of those golden beanstalk seeds, and they were also given a chicken zombie. So if you missed that, I'm sorry. It's something new that he's done that he hasn't done before after the admin abuse is over. New pets that were introduced during the admin abuse were the green bean, the lemon lion, the apple gazelle, the peach wasp, but other pets that were added during this update include the gnome, the griffin, the mandrake, and the elk. The lemon lion pet applies a powerful Brainrot mutation, which is actually a 100 times multiplier to a random fruit every 5 minutes, and it occasionally grants bonus experience to a pet. The green bean, every 29 minutes, the pet sacrifices a random beanstalk fruit in your garden to instantly grow another plant with a 5.13 fruit size bonus. This ability can't be mimicked or refreshed by any other pets. The peach wasp, this pet can plasmify a nearby fruit every 25 minutes, which applies the plasma mutation. It also stings a random pet every 10 minutes, advancing its ability cooldown by 60 seconds. Apple Gazelle, this pet has 2 abilities. Apple Harvester gives fruits with apple in their name a 4% chance to duplicate once you harvest them, and Sugar Warp provides a 2% chance to apply the warped mutation, which is a 75 times multiplier to a random fruit when you harvest the sugar apple. The chicken zombie pet returned as a surprise reward during the admin war. Some of us had it already, some of us did not. We thought it was gone forever during the Minecraft event. It has 2 passive abilities. It can make crops zombified with a 20% chance every 30 seconds, and then it can boost egg hatch speed by 10%. Now for the pets that are new to this expansion, there's the Griffin. Every 15 minutes, the Griffin releases a cyclone. If a pet is struck, its cooldown is advanced by 60 seconds. If a fruit is struck, it has a 10% chance of receiving the cyclonic mutation. This is the rarest pet during this expansion. It's not super great, but it's there. The elk has a 2.5% chance that berry fruits will remain after being collected, so like strawberries and stuff. Mandrakes, when harvesting a mandrake crop, this pet has a 3.6% chance to apply the rot mutation to a random fruit in your garden. And then the gnome pet. The gnome pet can increase the odds of triggering the gnomed mutation, which is a 15 times multiplier if you have multiple gnome cosmetics. So the odds are increased for every single gnome that you actually have sitting in your garden. So if you're like me and you've been collecting gnomes from the start, you've got plenty. Now, there's not really anything major that you need to do in this new update in order to get access to the expanded rewards. You build the beanstalk like before, no changes there, and when you reach the clouds, you'll notice that the giant has a new tab in his store, the Friendship tab. In order to access and unlock the goods in the shop, you need to feed him food that you've already crafted. In order to do this, you need to complete the achievement under the Common tab in your garden guide. The food type doesn't matter, you just keep feeding him until it's unlocked all the way to level 6, and then you have access to all the new rewards in his store. Inside the Friendship Shop, you'll find the Skyroot Chest that contains a chance of getting one of the following: the Crown of Thorns seed, the Elk pet, the Calla Lily, the Mandrake pet, the Cyclamen seed, and the rarest one, which is the Griffin pet. Additional items in the shop include the Griffin statue, the bouncy mushroom that lets you bounce a little bit like the jump pad, but not as great, a beanstalk painting, a can of beans, which is a one-time use item for reaching tall crops and is insanely overpriced, glow pod seeds, the flare melon, the pet shard giant bean that lets you turn your pet into a mega pet, and then the gnome pet. Pro tip alert: you restock the shop just as you did before by paying shekels to do so. Almost every single time there will be more Skyroot chests, so grab them. Additionally, when you restock the shop, it doesn't just restock the Friendship tab or the tab that you're on, it restocks both at the same time for one price. So don't just keep pressing restock, check both tabs for seed packs, limited pets, sprout eggs, and your chests every time you restock. If you're in Central US time at 7 p.m. every evening, the restock price will reset to 500,000 shekels. So if you're going to use it before then, and you'll have another chance that night to check the stock out again. There's a new crafting bench in the clouds that lets you craft Skyroot chests, sprout eggs, willowberry seeds, and a few cosmetics like the green bean memories table, where you can reminisce on the fake admin abuse and the flame war on the internet and how most of your friends were green and unrecognizable for an entire week, the bean pool table, the bean sprout float light, and the pet shard giant bean that turns your pets mega. Finally, let's talk about the game's new most powerful tool. The admin war introduced two crazy mutations: the Brainrot mutation, which is the 100 times multiplier that we talked about before, and the warped mutation, which is the 75 times multiplier. You might have seen these happen during the event, but there is one pet that can apply the mutation permanently, the lemon lion that we talked about before. This means that its passive applies a 100 times value multiplier to the farm. I don't know why something this powerful was introduced, but if you've been paying attention, Jandel has zero fear of blowback from the community unless it's performative, and will nerf these things faster than you can open useless seed packs, so use it while you can. If you remember the koi fish controversy, where during the Zen update, it originally gave you a better chance at unlocking rarer pets from eggs that you hatched, suddenly getting nerfed under the guise of, the text was wrong, and now only giving a small chance of returning eggs once you hatch them? Well, surprise, the Nihonzuru pet from the Zen event has also been nerfed, like Travis Kelce spiking a fruit ball into the ground, with players showing that pets like the butterfly, where their Nihonzurus originally a full army of them, reduced the cooldown of the butterfly by 7 minutes, and then now after this new update, the Nihonzuru only reduces the butterfly's ability by 7 seconds for an entire army of Nihonzuru. So use it or lose it, because that's the admin abuse that Jangel's not afraid to use, even if it makes everyone angry. There's also a new traveling merchant, the Sprinkler Dude, who sells all kinds of sprinklers, and for once something was actually in stock, so we bought it out. Finally, on the achievements page, you have a new set of achievements for what they call core pets. In short, it's a Pokédex, and once you have all 27 pets it asks for, and yeah, you guessed it, some of those achievements require not only obtaining new dragonflies, red foxes, polar bears, and other hard-to-get pets, but using them many times over and their abilities in order to finish quests. You'll get a Mega Lollipop, a Pet Shard Rainbow, and an Egg Incubator. But good luck hatching those 1,750 eggs, mutating 100 pets, etc. So that's your update. It's smallish, introduces a ton of new pets, a new crafting bench, and expands on the original event, requiring you to complete things from part 1, like crafting the cooking pot in the common achievements tab, in order to make the things required to get rewards from part 2. It also introduced a ton of extremely long-term achievements that you can grind that will keep you coming back day after day. I'm exhausted. If I missed something, let me know in the comments below. If you have a strategy or something I missed, grill me in the comments below. If you lost a toe due to a Roblox accident, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Love you, bye.